She hands it off to Jackson. Jackson uses the screen, lost the handle, bounce pass to Plum. Plum loses it, regains it, throws it up for grabs. Grabbed by Boston out of the sky, and we're going to have a foul here. No, a timeout taken by Indiana.
What I love the most about this squad is that, just like O said, like we instill confidence, the coach instills confidence that any shot you take, shoot it with confidence because we trust you and we trust that you're going to make it. And I feel like that's just really helped us down the line because no matter who comes in, no matter who steps up, we're all just really happy for each other.
Aliyah Boston said something after the game that had every Fever fan buzzing. But she didn't just talk about it, she lived it. In a season where Indiana has been battered by injuries, she dropped 22 points, 11 boards, and a career high 6 steals, capping it with the game ceiling stop. What exactly did she mean by her words? That's what we're getting into, because her post-game line might be the key to understanding how the Fever pulled off their most important win of the year. And even with injuries mounting and momentum shaky, one unlikely hero lit the spark that closed the door on LA. Let's break down how.
Fever dog! Bow, bow, bow! Hell yeah, hell yeah.
How do you win when half your team is sitting in street clothes? That was the question hanging over Indiana as they walked into Los Angeles. Caitlin Clark on the sideline, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Carlson and Ari McDonald unavailable. For guards, for playmakers, for voices missing from the rotation. For most teams, that's a death sentence in a game that carries playoff weight. But the Fever didn't have the option of giving in. They came in with nothing to lean on but grit and belief in whoever was left standing.
The resilient, nature of our team. I think one other thing that sometimes goes missed is just the character of these women, right? Especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we've brought in. We brought in with O and Shay and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice every.
It wasn't just about the names on the injury list either. This wasn't some random regular season game in August. The Sparks weren't just another opponent. They had beaten Indiana every single time they met this year. 3 matchups, 3 losses, each one a little more frustrating than the last. And the standings made it even worse. The Fever sat in 6th, clinging to a playoff spot, while Los Angeles was lurking just 2 games behind in 9th. That gap could shrink in a heartbeat. And, with 4 losses in the last 5, doubt had seeped into every conversation about this team. Were they collapsing at the worst possible time?
Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, you don't need to be sorry. This is what it is. And when I'm playing, I forget about it, and then I go and look at the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, they're still there. So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine.
Yep.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
Right.
It wasn't just about the names on the injury list either. This wasn't some random regular season game in August. The Sparks weren't just another opponent. They had beaten Indiana every single time they met this year. 3 matchups, 3 losses, each one a little more frustrating than the last. And the standings made it even worse. The Fever sat in 6th, clinging to a playoff spot, while Los Angeles was lurking just 2 games behind in 9th. That gap could shrink in a heartbeat. And, with 4 losses in the last 5, doubt had seeped into every conversation about this team. Were they collapsing at the worst possible time?
I was like, I just need to get the swelling to go down in my forehead. So I put a patch, slept with it. The next day, woke up and I was like, okay, the bump is almost gone, but now I have 2 black eyes. So that was tragic. but I mean, it's at this point, it's unfortunately won't be able to hide it. People know, so just rolling with it.
Were you able to hide it for the photo shoots?
Makeup artist did a really, really, really good job, and people that hadn't met me before were like, "Oh, I can't even tell." I'm like, "Okay, that's good. We'll take it." But I'm hoping they'll do some editing in the post.
Picture the challenge: a team that looks fragile from the outside. 5 games left in the season, and now forced to pull together with patchwork lineups. It wasn't about finding a perfect rhythm anymore. It was about surviving every single possession. That mentality became their blueprint. Whoever got minutes had to play more than their role usually demanded. Whoever touched the court had to carry weight beyond their stat line.
And I imagine on Tuesday you got checked for concussion, facial fracture. Just how much of a sigh of relief was it that you didn't have concussion or any kind of fracture in your face?
Yeah, honestly, when it happened, I was like relieved because I could feel myself like I was good to go. Like I felt completely with it. They did all the tests they needed to do and put ice on it right away, try to keep the swelling down. But I felt good knowing that like obviously it could have been a lot worse. And I'm grateful for the people online wanting to check on me and make sure that I'm okay. But I am okay. I've been fully checked out. So.
And then you saw Lexie Hull. She wasn't just playing. She was competing with. Both eyes marked up after colliding with Gabby Williams in the last game. 2 black eyes, and she still dug into. Defenders still grabbed loose balls, still ran through screens. Hull symbolized exactly what the Fever needed that night. Show up even when it hurts. Her presence was a message in itself. If she could fight through, so could everyone else wearing Indiana red.
We dug in. It wasn't ideal in terms of how the game was. It was ugly. We had moments where we were better than others, but we dug in. I mean, when you think about key defensive stops, key offensive rebounds, like AB's key offensive rebound there at the end, making plays, deflections that led to steals or deflections that led to bobbled.
That's what made this game feel different. It wasn't about style points or highlight passes. Every stop, every rebound, every basket came with a layer of urgency. One wrong run from LA and it could have ended quickly. But the Fever didn't snap. They matched intensity and kept pushing back against a team determined to close the gap in the standings.
Sims left open for 3. She got it. Offensive rebound. Sims the runner. Here's Howard. Shovels Sims right at the doorstep, and she gets it off the window. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
By refusing to break under pressure, Indiana set the stage for someone unexpected to rise. The resilience of that short-handed group left the door open for a veteran who had been waiting for her moment to step fully into the spotlight. What if the player no one expected became the closer everyone needed? That's exactly what happened for Indiana when Odyssey Sims stepped onto the floor in Los Angeles. Think about it. This was supposed to be a night about survival, a short-handed roster, just trying to hold together long enough to steal a win. Yet somehow a 31-year-old veteran who wasn't even part of the starting lineup became the heartbeat of the game. And for Sims, the significance grew even bigger because of the jersey worn by the opponent. She used to call the Sparks her team. That added layer of history fueled her every possession, and you could tell from the way she played that this meant something personal.
Lead back up to 3. Sims left open for 3. She got it. Odyssey Sims with the triple to tie this one up at 74 apiece. Got the offensive rebound out to Mitchell. Here's Hull curling. Hull down the lane. The kick out Sims. Sims in the paint. The runner good. They put Turner on the inbound. Alaman inbounds it to Hamby, and so now that'll be that. So the Indiana Fever come in.
By refusing to break under pressure, Indiana set the stage for someone unexpected to rise. The resilience of that short-handed group left the door open for a veteran who had been waiting for her moment to step fully into the spotlight. What if the player no one expected became the closer everyone needed? That's exactly what happened for Indiana when Odyssey Sims stepped onto the floor in Los Angeles. Think about it. This was supposed to be a night about survival, a short-handed roster, just trying to hold together long enough to steal a win. Yet somehow a 31-year-old veteran who wasn't even part of the starting lineup became the heartbeat of the game. And for Sims, the significance grew even bigger because of the jersey worn by the opponent. She used to call the Sparks her team. That added layer of history fueled her every possession, and you could tell from the way she played that this meant something personal.
Yeah, honestly, 5 straight points for you to help take the lead at the end of the game. Just what was that mindset for you in those final seconds?
I mean, I didn't shoot the ball well from the 3. I was over before I made that shot, but I mean, I didn't lose confidence. I think my teammates did a great job, along with the coaches, just constantly talking to me. They weren't worried about my missed shots. It just came down to continue to play. They believe in me so much, so that helped me. And when I shot it, I was open. It was one of those do or die. It went in, and I was excited about that. Like I said, I was open from the 3, but we got the W. So
at this stage in her career, most people don't expect a backup guard to carry an offense. The scouting report doesn't circle her name the way it does Aliyah, Boston, or Caitlin Clark. But when your leading scorer, Kelsey Mitchell, can't find her rhythm, just 5 makes on 14 attempts, that's when the cracks usually start to show. Instead, Sims turned herself into the answer. She came in steady, decisive, and without hesitation. Every possession mattered, and she treated each one like she had been waiting for.
going up just like the last few years, just up and down, in the league, out the league, hardship, contract being cut, all of that stuff, really doesn't matter. I think I'm a human definition of you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I think every opportunity that has been given to me, I'm taking full advantage of it. These are opportunities that you can't let slip away. You never know what tomorrow brings. You never know. You be on the team one day, go on the next day. So just being able to come in and just stay ready, have my energy flow to my teammates, and just be positive. Like I said, I'm with a good.
Her numbers tell part of the story, but only part. 21 points total. But it was the timing of each bucket that turned heads. You could see her calm under pressure, pushing tempo when the Fever needed to, then slowing it down when Los Angeles threatened to grab momentum. And then came the closing stretch. Deep into the fourth quarter, the ball kept finding her hands. Drives through traffic, mid-range pull-ups, creating off the dribble. These weren't secondary plays. She became the primary release valve.
Sparks started the game on a 7-0 run. Here's Mitchell, right back to Boston. And unable to get that one, but follows her on. Cameron Brink and Ray Burrell going to be checking in next time there's a stoppage for LA. Here's Turner in traffic, and she gets it up off the window.
Beautiful pass from Boston.
7 on the shot clock. Mitchell turning the corner. Jump stop in the lane, loses the ball. Brink throws it right to Boston. Easy.
The defining moment, though, arrived with just 13.6 seconds left on the clock. Indiana clinging to a chance, the ball in her grip, and she rose into that quick floater she's honed for years. It dropped through clean. That was the shot. The one that gave Indiana the lead for good and silenced the Staples Center crowd. You could feel the emotional weight lifted off the Fever as she ran back down the floor, arms calm, face clear, almost like she knew this was hers all along.
Julie Alamam, 5 points here tonight. They go high-low, and Boston the beneficiary. That's the 18th point off of a Sparks turnover. Hamby the crossover. Hamby rejected there by Boston. Here's Mitchell, always dangerous with the ball in her hands. Finds Boston's free throw line. Boston against Hamby. Jump hook, gets the soft bounce.